There are exactly 4 ways to make money in this world. You are either an employee, self-employed, a business owner, or an investor, and the box you are in decides if you will ever get rich, or if you will spend your whole life working for someone else. Today, I am going to show you exactly which box you are in. I will show you why you might feel stuck there, and most importantly, I will show you how to cross over to the side where true wealth is built. But before we look at those 4 boxes, you need to hear a story. Because once you understand this story, the whole game of money will make perfect sense. Imagine a small town that completely runs out of water. The town leaders decide to hire 2 guys to fix the problem. Their names are Ed and Bill. The first guy, Ed, runs out and buys 2 big buckets. He starts walking to the lake and carrying water back to the town every single day, from sunrise to sunset. It is exhausting work, but he is making good money and everyone is happy. The second guy, Bill, completely disappears. Nobody sees him for months. Ed is thrilled because he has no competition. He is selling all the water. But then Bill comes back, and he brings a construction crew with him. Bill didn't buy buckets. He spent those months building a massive pipeline directly from the lake into the center of town. His water is cleaner, it flows 24 hours a day, and it costs way less than Ed's water. The whole town immediately switches to Bill. Ed panics. He buys bigger buckets, he hires his kids to help, he starts working nights and weekends, but it does not matter. You simply cannot compete with the pipeline by carrying buckets. Meanwhile, Bill takes his pipeline idea to other towns and then other cities. He only makes a tiny penny on every drop of water, but millions of drops flow every single day. Bill makes money while he sleeps. He makes money while he is on vacation. Ed works hard his entire life and dies broke. Bill builds something once and gets paid forever. So here is the most important question you will ever ask yourself. Are you building a pipeline or are you carrying buckets? Your job is a bucket. Your salary is a bucket. And listen, there is absolutely nothing wrong with buckets. We all need them to survive. When I first learned this, I used to hate my job. I would come home angry, thinking my boss was the reason I wasn't rich. I thought if I just quit, I would magically become successful. But I was wrong. My job was not the enemy. My job paid the rent. It fed me while I figured things out. So if you have a job right now, do not hate it. It is buying you the time to build your pipeline. But you must remember one rule. A bucket will never make you free. Because the exact second you stop carrying the bucket, the water stops. Carry your bucket during the day, go home, and build your pipeline at night. But where do you build it? To answer that, we have to look at the map of money. Let's look at the first box on the top left, the employee. Think of a computer programmer or a store manager. The employee trades their time for a paycheck, and the thing they care about more than anything else in the world is security. They just want a safe job with a steady salary and good health insurance. Being an employee is honest work, but there is a massive problem. Your entire income depends on one single source. If your boss wakes up in a bad mood or the company gets sold, your money completely vanishes in 1 second. And then there are the taxes. Employees get punished the hardest by the government. They pay almost half of their money in taxes. And the cruelest part, the government takes its money directly out of your paycheck before you even get to touch it. The employee earns money, gets taxed, and tries to survive on whatever is left over. Now, let's look at the second box, the self-employed. A lot of people get tired of being an employee, so they quit. They decide to become their own boss. On paper, it sounds like total freedom, but usually they just walk out of one trap straight into a bigger one. As an employee, you only had one job, but when you are self-employed, you suddenly have 10 jobs. You are the marketer, the accountant, and the janitor. Think of a freelance designer, a local doctor, or a small shop owner. They work harder than anyone else, but they are exhausted. Self-employed people love to say, if you want it done right, do it yourself. But that is a dangerous trap, because if nobody can do it better than you can never step away. If a self-employed dentist goes on vacation, his income goes on vacation too. This is just like Ed carrying buckets. The moment you stop walking, the money stops. Now let's cross over to the right side of the map. This is where the rich live. The top right box is the business owner. Think of Jeff Bezos or even the guy who owns 5 local car washes in your city. A business owner does not own a job. They own a system, a machine, and they hire other people to run that machine for them. A true business owner can walk away for a whole year, and when they come back, the business has made even more money. Business owners use a secret weapon. It is called OPT, other people's time. You and I only have 24 hours in a day, but a business owner with 20 employees has hundreds of hours every single day. That is how they grow so fast. And their taxes are totally different. Remember, employees pay tax first, then spend what is left. But a business owner earns money, spends it on growing the business, and only pays taxes on whatever is left over. They play by a completely different set of rules. Finally, we've reached the ultimate box, the investor. Think of Warren Buffett or someone who owns 50 apartment buildings. The investor does not work for money. They make their money work for them. Investors use their own secret weapon. OPM, other people's money. They use money from banks to buy massive assets. They make huge profits using money they did not even have to earn. But here's the craziest part. A real investor can legally pay 0% in taxes. Let me explain how absurd this gets. When a billionaire buys a company, he does not use his own debit card. He goes to a bank and he borrows the money. Under U.S. law, borrowed money is not income, so it cannot be taxed. He buys the company makes millions in profit, but he takes that profit and buys even more assets. By the time the government looks at his paperwork, there is no taxable income left. When he wants to buy a mansion or a sports car, he does not sell his investments. If he sells, he has to pay taxes. Instead, he just goes back to the bank and borrows more money, using his assets to prove he is good for it. He lives like a king, entirely on debt, and debt is completely tax-free. So, now you know the map. You know you want to be on the right side. But moving over is one of the hardest things you will ever do. It requires changing everything you know about money. So, here are the first 7 strategies to help you cross over. Strategy number 1. Stop buying liability. Most people think their house is their best investment. But if you look at a bank's paperwork, your mortgage is actually the bank's investment. It makes them money every single month. This is the secret game of capitalism. Every mortgage, every car loan, and every credit card balance makes you someone else's employee. You are working just to pay the bank. The more people you owe money to, the poorer you are. How do you flip the game? You stop buying things that take money out of your pocket, and you start buying things that put money into your pocket. We call these assets. And no, you do not need $1 million to start. You might say you don't have the cash to buy a rental house. That is fine. A YouTube video that makes you $50 a month is an asset. A digital book or a small piece of a business are all assets. Start small, but start building things that pay you. Strategy number 2, find a mentor. Imagine trying to climb Mount Everest. You would never just start walking up the freezing mountain alone. You would find someone who has already climbed it. You want someone who knows where the dangerous parts are and what mistakes will get you killed. But when it comes to money and business, most people try to climb the mountain completely alone. They waste years failing. The best Olympic athletes in the world all have coaches. But people who have never started a business think they can just figure it out on their own. The smartest investors have no problem paying an expert for advice because they are not just buying advice. They are buying back years of their life. They are paying to skip the painful mistakes. Stop trying to climb alone. Find someone at the top and learn from them. Strategy number 3, escape the lifestyle trap. There is a trap most people live inside and they do not even see it. It goes exactly like this. You graduate, get a job, and start earning money. Suddenly, you buy a nicer car. Then you get married, take out a huge mortgage, and buy a bigger house. Now, you absolutely cannot afford to lose your job. You are completely trapped. The more successful you become, the tighter the trap gets. Every raise at work just leads to bigger bills and fancier cars. The scariest part is that this feels totally normal because everyone around you is doing the exact same thing. So the next time you get a raise, do not upgrade your lifestyle. Ask yourself, am I making my life better? Or am I just buying a bigger cage? Every extra dollar you spend on luxury is a dollar you cannot spend on your freedom. Strategy number 4, win the emotional battle. Money is like a drug. When you receive a steady paycheck every 2 weeks, your brain gets completely hooked on that feeling of safety. When you try to step away and build something of your own, your brain freaks out. It feels uncomfortable. Most people panic and run right back to their safe job. But that discomfort is actually a good sign. It means you are growing. Strategy number 5, build systems, not products. Let me ask you a question. Can you make a better hamburger than McDonald's? Almost everyone says yes. But can you build a better business system than McDonald's? Probably not. Most new business owners fail because they fall in love with their product instead of building the machine. McDonald's is not rich because of their burgers. They are rich because of their supply chain, their real estate, and their training manuals. Build the system, not just the burger. Strategy number 6, become a real investor. There are 5 levels of investors. Level 1 spends more than they earn. Level 2 just saves cash and loses to inflation. Level 3 gives their money to someone else and prays. Real wealth starts at level 4. This is where you educate yourself, manage your own money, and learn from small mistakes. Level 5 is the capitalist who uses other people's money to build empires. Start making your small mistakes today so you can reach level 4. The true difference between a rich person and a poor person is what they do in their spare time. It is not their salary. It is not their education. It is what they do when the workday ends. 2 people can work the exact same 9-to-5 job for the exact same paycheck, but one goes home, opens a beer, and watches television for 5 hours. The other goes home, watches a video on real estate, and spends an hour building a side business. 5 years later, they had the same job, but their lives are completely different. Your boss pays you enough to survive, but your future gets built in the hours around your job. Early in the morning, late at night, and on the weekends. If you only work hard at your job, you will work hard forever. But if you work hard on your own assets in your spare time, you will build a pipeline that sets you free. Stop just carrying buckets. It is time to start building your pipeline. If you want to unlock more simple rules to build true wealth, hit that subscribe button right now and join the community. We are breaking down the game of money every single week. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.